Love Walmart but don't want to deal with food poisoning or bits of plastic in your meals? The chains had a number of notorious recalls. Could your favorite packaged food be next? In 2006, Walmart recalled peanut butter due to a salmonella contamination. The outbreak resulted in 628 reported cases across 47 states. The CDC and state health departments identified peanut butter brands Peter Pan and Great Value, produced at ConAgra's Georgia facility, as the outbreak's origin. This led to a widespread recall and an $11.2 million settlement by ConAgra, marking the largest criminal fine in an American food safety case. The outbreak was attributed to facility issues, including a leaky roof, which allowed moisture to facilitate the growth of salmonella. In 2020, the Salinas, California-based produce company, Tanamura and Antle, issued a recall for nearly 4,000 cases of romaine lettuce due to potential contamination with the strain of E. coli. This affected products distributed to over 1,000 Walmart stores across the United States. While no deaths were reported, 12 people got sick, and 5 of them were hospitalized. The recall specifically targeted single heads of Tanamura and Antle-branded romaine lettuce in clear plastic bags with specific sell-by dates. Just 2 years earlier, following another E. coli scare involving romaine lettuce, Walmart implemented blockchain technology to trace leafy greens. The company aimed to quickly track produce from farm to store to improve food safety. The new technology required Walmart suppliers to trace their leafy greens back to the original farm within seconds, whereas before they were allowed days.
As you're getting ready to eat breakfast this morning, you may want to listen up to this.
In 2019, Walmart initiated a recall of more than 6,400 pounds of Great Value brand frozen meat produced by Georgia's Prepared Foods for possible salmonella contamination. The recall was issued after it was discovered that products meant for disposal due to positive salmonella tests were accidentally distributed across the country. The USDA urged consumers to either dispose of or return the affected products to the store. Fortunately, no illnesses were reported in connection with this incident, and this wasn't the only time that Walmart ran into trouble with its meat. Just 3 years later, the chain was affected by a 120,000-pound ground beef recall due to the risk of E. coli that also affected other stores such as Target and Weis Markets. In 2023, Walmart faced a recall of frozen berry mixes containing strawberries grown in Mexico due to possible contamination with hepatitis A. The voluntary recall from Walmart supplier Willamette Valley Fruit Co. happened after a larger outbreak was investigated. That outbreak involved 10 cases of hepatitis A across 4 states linked to frozen organic strawberries imported from Baja California, Mexico. It resulted in 4 hospitalizations, but no fatalities. All affected individuals had consumed frozen organic strawberries, leading to an investigation by the CDC, the FDA, and state public health and regulatory officials. This probe identified the strawberries as the likely outbreak source and connected them to a common farm. The berries were sold under multiple brand labels to various retailers. The Walmart products that were recalled were Great Value sliced strawberries, Great Value mixed fruit, and Great Value antioxidant fruit blend.
People should definitely be aware of what they have in their freezer.
In 2019, Perrigo issued a recall of Choice Advantage infant formula milk-based powder with iron, which is sold at Walmart. This was due to the potential contamination of a single lot with metal foreign matter, identified through a customer complaint. No adverse events were reported, but the recall was launched as a precautionary measure. Consumers in possession of the product were instructed to cease use immediately and return it for a full refund. The recalled lot of this formula included over 23,000 containers. And it's not just Walmart that's had to deal with infant formula recalls. Since 2022, there have been multiple formula recalls across the country. Most of them have been due to bacterial contamination rather than the presence of a foreign object. In 2011, a significant Salmonella Heidelberg outbreak linked to ground turkey resulted in 136 reported cases across 34 states, according to the CDC. This particular strain was resistant to several antibiotics, thereby potentially increasing the risk of hospitalization. Investigations pinpointed a production establishment as the source, leading to a massive recall of about 36 million pounds of ground turkey products by Cargill. The recalled items included brands like Honeysuckle White and Shady Brook Farms at Walmart. Among the reported cases, 37 people were hospitalized and 1 death was reported. Cargill Meat Solutions Corporation expanded the recall by an additional 185,000 pounds of ground turkey products in September after further testing at their facility confirmed the presence of the outbreak strain, which was also found to be multi-drug resistant. In February 2024, Walmart recalled 2 of its market-side salad kits, Bacon Ranch Crunch and Southwest Chopped, due to a potential risk of contamination with Listeria monocytogenes. These recalls affected over 20 states. In fact, a recent surge in recalls sparked by Listeria detection at Lopez Foods in California has impacted bagged salads and chicken taco kits sold at other major retailers like Albertsons and Costco. The CDC links this current outbreak to 2 deaths and 23 hospitalizations over 9 years, with 26 people affected since 2014. Investigations revealed a connection between the illness and consumption of queso fresco and cotija cheeses. The outbreak is tied to a persistent strain of Listeria identified at the plant. According to the CDC, about 1,600 people in the U.S. get sick from Listeria annually, and about 260 of them die.
They also say you should clean your fridge because Listeria can survive and spread to other foods.
In October 2020, Walmart supplier Country Fresh expanded a voluntary recall to encompass a range of freshness-guaranteed cut and sliced fruit products, including apples, grapes, mangoes, pineapples, and cantaloupe, due to potential contamination with Listeria monocytogenes. This was a precautionary action following the detection of Listeria on equipment in proximity to the product packaging area when the FDA identified the contamination risk during an inspection. There were no reported illnesses associated with this recall. Affected products were packaged in different sizes of clamshell containers. Walmart removed the contaminated products from stores immediately since a Listeria infection can cause harmful symptoms and can even result in death. Consumers were advised to either discard the fresh fruit products or return them for a refund. In 2014, Walmart China recalled its popular 5-spice donkey meat for containing fox DNA, a much cheaper and less desirable product. This indicated a significant breach in food safety and authenticity standards. An individual associated with the supplier's factory was even detained due to fraud. Walmart responded to the controversy by offering refunds to customers who purchased the tainted product and collaborated with local food and industry agencies in Shandong province to investigate the supplier further. While donkey meat is a somewhat popular snack in parts of China, fox meat isn't. Unfortunately, this is hardly the first case of fraudulent meat on the market. According to the UK Food Standards Agency, about 10% of foods on the shelves are somehow tainted. In 2022, Walmart and Lily Sweets initiated a recall for 18,855 cases of 7-ounce peppermint flavor baking chips due to undeclared soy lecithin. This recall was specifically aimed at protecting individuals with severe allergies or sensitivities to soy. The baking chips are a limited holiday seasonal offering available exclusively at Walmart stores across the United States. The need for the recall was identified after consumers reported finding white candy pieces mixed with the peppermint chips. Lily Sweets later revealed that it determined that the contamination occurred at a co-manufacturer. The white disc-shaped candy pieces mixed in with the peppermint contained soy lecithin and other ingredients not listed on the packaging. In 2010, Walmart was compelled to recall 91,872 pounds of frozen chicken nuggets after the discovery of small pieces of plastic within the product. The recall was a response to consumer complaints, but fortunately there were no reported injuries or illnesses.
There is a remote possibility of adverse health consequences from eating this particular recalled product.
The affected product was the Great Value fully cooked chicken nuggets produced by Purdue Farms, packaged in 1-pound 13-ounce bags. These bags were produced on June 9, 2010 and distributed in cases of 8 to Walmart stores across the country. In addition to being a choking hazard, plastic is harmful when ingested, especially if it's heated. In 2021, Maple Island Inc. initiated a voluntary recall of 3 lots of Parents' Choice Rice Baby cereal manufactured for Walmart due to potential arsenic contamination. This came after routine FDA sampling found levels of naturally occurring inorganic arsenic above the established guidance in samples from 3 production lots. Walmart has since removed the product from shelves and implemented a register block to halt further sales. The recall targeted specific 8-ounce lots sold after April 5, 2021. Despite tests on raw materials and finished products complying with FDA guidelines, the recall was issued as a precautionary measure to ensure consumer safety. The FDA acknowledges that trace elements like arsenic are common in the environment, including water, soil, and food, while also emphasizing the importance of minimizing exposure to toxins to protect infants' developing brains. In 2016, Walmart and Target recalled a variety of frozen vegetable products over potential Listeria monocytogenes contamination. This happened in the wake of similar alerts from Costco regarding its own frozen fruits and vegetables. The recall at Target involved specific market pantry items, while Walmart's recall affected more than 20 Great Value brand frozen vegetables, including green peas and mixed vegetable lots, which were sold from September 2015 to June 2016. The recalls were precautionary, as there were no reported cases of illness. Consumers possessing any of the recalled items were encouraged to return them for a full refund. According to the FDA, Listeria monocytogenes outbreaks in the United States have often been linked to fruits and vegetables, with dairy products and meats being the other biggest offenders. In December 2016, Treehouse Foods Inc. issued a secondary recall for various mac and cheese products that it produced, including Walmart's Great Value brand. This was due to potential salmonella contamination linked to powdered milk from Valley Milk Products LLC. It was one of many secondary recalls following the FDA's discovery of salmonella in the latter company's powdered milk. The FDA ended up seizing 4 million pounds from Valley Milk. Treehouse's nationwide recall affected one Walmart product, Great Value Macaroni and Cheese Original Cups. The companies advised consumers to throw away any products they had on hand or return them for a refund. Salmonella is associated with fever and gastrointestinal problems and can pose a high risk to older people, infants, and those with weakened immune systems.
Hold the pancakes.
In 2022, Continental Mills recalled pancake and waffle mixes sold under Kroger and Walmart's Great Value brands due to the discovery of cable fragments in the products. While the Kroger mix was only distributed among select states, the Great Value mix was available in Walmart stores nationwide. There weren't any reported cases of anyone eating the contaminated product or being injured by it, and Continental Mills didn't explain how the mixes became contaminated. However, Consumer Reports Director of Food Safety Research and Testing, James E. Rogers, noted, pieces of conveyor belts, plastic-coated cables, and other parts of machinery can contaminate food if they fail during the packaging and manufacturing process. Customers who purchased the potentially contaminated product were offered refunds. In 2021, a significant Salmonella Orenburg outbreak was linked to fresh onions from Chihuahua, Mexico. The CDC reported that 892 people across 38 states and Puerto Rico got sick. The onions included ones imported by ProSource Produce LLC and Keeler Family Farms. They were then distributed to nationwide retailers, including Walmart. The store's recall involved onions from several stores in Oklahoma and Texas, where 36% of the people got sick. At the time, onions of many varieties were recalled nationwide. The FDA noted that the onions weren't just in stores, but in many food service products. Meanwhile, the CDC warned that the outbreak was especially severe, with an unusually high hospitalization rate. They urged people to thoroughly clean their onions before use.